many people in the crowd on a Sunday night. Welcome to DBAA Plays. Internet friends, welcome to DBAA Plays. Sorry, we're a little bit behind schedule. It's been a night of technical adventures. Before we dive into the wonders that are Slime Sign, I guess we'll do some quick introductions. You want to?
Yeah, hi, I'm Jordan Toth, a friend of DBAA and avid platformer player. I'm here to be playing this game for us, showing off anything that we need to show off.
Cool. I'm Matt Lepage. I'm the, I guess, sort of the head of the streaming team here at Wonderville, so I've had a very interesting night. But I'll be here sort of peppering these two with questions, maybe peppering this one with jabs. We'll see how it goes.
Jabs are appropriate.
Yeah, jabs are appropriate.
I'm Ben Miller. I'm part of the Slime Son team. I was the programmer on the team. Also responsible for mean-spirited boss fights.
Oh, okay.
So you can direct aggression this way.
All right.
And my name is Edgar Castro. I'm one of the level designers and did a lot of the QA testing for Slime Son. Yeah.
All right.
The non-boss levels you can direct aggression.
Do we want to do another save clear? Why not? Right?
Yeah.
Let's get the raw experience. Head down to that settings file.
Okay. All right. What did I just double hit something. Let's level select.
Level select.
I might be on switch buttons and tried to confirm with the circle button or something. No, I'm over there now. Okay.
There's always that mental remapping.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Reset,
save
reset,
data.
down to the bottom.
Do it. Destroy all our work. Kiss
Yup.
them, oh, goodbye.
Maybe
Okay.
do the reset dialogue as well, unless that.
I think no, that does reset.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say it looked like a reset dialogue last time we did it.
It would be a lot harder.
Okay, so let's start with the lore. Is the slime named Slime Sign? Yes. Does the bird have a name? The bird is named Birdie. Does the worm have a name?
Just Mom Worm.
Just Mom Worm? Okay, cool. So the story is Slime Sign and Birdie out for a walk, enjoying the spiders of nature. Mom Worm comes along, chops inside the nest. All right, cool.
There's a lot of features there. Just very long.
Right, and Slime Sign goes backwards. So the control scheme here is what? 3 actions in the all directions?
Yeah.
Jump and dash. Right, and you can probably guess what jump and dash do, but more people have to do the slime scheme.
Which you can see here, the acid timer has run out, and now the screen is filled with acid.
It has like a little puzzling mechanic where you might get like a
Yeah, absolutely. Just don't use it too much because then you'll accidentally start phasing through.
Yes, it's around like level 4 or 5 we're like, alright, let's
That's the exact experience I had. I was leading extreme
That was
Yeah. Yeah. And then I also noticed that my character didn't have really dash. My
Yeah, I found that during levels with auto-moving platformers, like auto-scrolling platformers, I was just dashing at the ground repeatedly to slightly speed them up.
Right, this is a good example of level where you can. Yeah, yeah.
Then there, I just went right through that platform and getting another.
So here we're also showing like that you can zoom in the level. Why?
Zoom in with Y. Oh, that's, yeah, this button.
I guess it's showing that.
Some people can be into I actually found it makes it a little harder, but never has.
Do you play keyboard or? Okay. Yeah, that's how I play it. closer. Everyone closer.
All right.
Roger.
Oh. I heard something to the booth. I'll be back in a moment.
All right. So I'm trying to get apples here, which I've played through the first world of this game, down to the first boss fight. That is my experience in the game. And I'm getting apples because that will allow us to showcase some of the collectibles and some of the crazy things that you guys added for rewards. There's some really great stuff.
We tried to partially like reverse reward and just want to push the limits while giving something back or really experiment with the offers of the game.
Yeah, I guess also with the tokens that you collect for the games.
Yeah.
Just another.
Yeah, but those are a little harder to track down.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, we just passed them.
Third level. Yeah.
Ah.
There's a few screens in the game where it's just clearly the moment you get out of the flow of just the start of the level, it gets exponentially harder.
Yeah.
Whereas if you just get really aggressive moving through it, it's a bit more manageable.
Breeze through it. Things are timed very well for not ever screwing up.
Yeah. Fortune favors the bold and so on.
An easy one to pick up.
There's some light concussion.
Right. Oh, I think I need to push all of these down, or else I will have nothing to do later on. That's right. Oh, this one took me a while to figure out
Okay. Yeah, it's a
last
little
night.
tricky.
This. Oh, no, and then if you run off of it, that's a cool thing that this game has that a lot of platformers don't, is you always have a midair jump even if you haven't jumped off of something. You get a free jump.
Yeah, we are very generous with kind of the persisting jump.
So I managed to do this yesterday, or whenever it was that I was playing this, preparing for tonight. There we go. Managed to get it.
Nice. Yeah, there's another way too where, because of the extra jump that you get, I would push the block all the way down and then climb on the side of the block.
And then fall off of it and jump back on.
Yeah, so it's you get your jump refreshed whenever you touch a wall, even if you then jump off of that wall.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Or if you just run off of a ledge so that you still have to jump even if you're
Right.
in the air.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of the YouTube video was called World Record, but I doubt it's still the world record because it was over a year old.
Okay.
It might be, there is one speedrunner who just is like kind of crazy prolific with this stuff, Nitro, that if it's not the same world record, it could very well still be him anyways.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
One of our favorite events of like we were showcasing in Gamescom in Germany, and he came up and just literally was there for an hour to hour and a half just speedrunning to play through the whole game in the moment.
Yeah, he's the reason we had to put a hard lock on our demo for events.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were like, oh no, he's reaching the second world and we need other people to play the game.
Surely no one would just sit here and play the game for like an hour and a half.
Ah.
Lesson learned.
Yeah. So actually, speaking of like touring with the game and whatnot, so this was the third game from Fabraz, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Previous games being Cannon Crasher, which is sort of a strategy, we'll call it a strategy ballistics game.
Right, yeah.
And Planet Diver, which was sort of endless runner slash, almost like a shmup game, but inverted, but also an endless runner. Was it more?
But yeah, like the scrolling shooter kind of
Yeah.
feeling, like dodging
exactly.
around stuff, yeah.
Which is to say, y'all have touched a lot of genres.
We
Very
jump around
quickly.
a bit.
What made you all interested in making this sort of ultra tight platformer?
I mean, I think it kind of started with just first the theme and idea.
Okay.
And then, so generally with the platformer stuff, and we were thinking of it as a smaller project, but as kind of time went on developing it, just kind of, as these things happen with indie games, it kind of grew much larger as time went on. And
Yeah.
then we all three of us have kind of a different history of platformers and across different consoles that, like Fabian, who isn't here, like grew up with a lot more Nintendo stuff. Edgar and I grew up more with Sega and Sonic, and so like we just have a long history of like different games in that genre that we were kind of like, yeah, we can kind of just like explore our love for this genre, just like try it out ourselves.
Yeah. So did it start with the idea? Actually, I'm really curious now. What was the idea that started it? Was it be a slime? Was it?
I think it was.
so, yeah.
I think it started first with it was actually like juggling in parallel to. I was in grad school at the time, and we were working on like another game on the side that was like a prototype as well, and then wrapping up Planet Diver, and then Fabian tried out this little like test proof of concept that was just. I think like black walls, a white square, and then the morphing. So like moving between a permeable thing.
Gotcha.
And so we thought like, okay, there's something here we can play with.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that morphing aspect also lend itself well to your character being a slime, and then that kind of also turned into where like in RPGs usually the slime is the first thing you kill. So it's kind of like having inverting that pretty much, subverting the expectation of who the hero is now.
We're trying to correct a history of just completely disregarding the merits of slimes.
The history of slime abuse, right?
And maybe shamelessly try and get a Dragon Quest cameo.
Yeah. Which any luck yet?
No,
I mean, you can't
so
say
far not.
there has been slime. You could sort of.
There's a
green
slime, there's a bird. I assume they're just
Yeah.
like separated. It's just actually the same character. So I'm going to say it's confirmed.
So every time Dragon Quest comes out, you're there watching the trailer, waiting for a bird to land on a slime, so you can go,
That's it.
Yeah, there we
That's
go.
us.
Like I'll crop them together. Just make that one specific tweet about it.
We got him.
Finally, Slime Son gets the recognition he deserves.
Yeah, so it was the three of you back then, and you met in New York, right?
Yes.
At Parsons, I believe?
Yeah. So it was like they were both in Parsons. I was in the undergrad liberal arts part of the school called Eugene Lang. So I was like the interloper in one class that just by happenstance we all met up.
Yeah, it was an elective class, actually Games 101.
Okay,
we all met
cool.
at, yeah.
It worked.
Yeah. it was taught by one of the people that designed the arcades over there
Oh, which one?
for Killer Queen, Josh.
Oh, okay, yeah. The Bumblebee folks, yeah.
Yeah.
And so you that was back in like what,
2011.
Yeah,
2010?
2011.
Yeah. And you've been in New York the whole time since.
Sort of.
right?
Like, yeah, I am originally from Boston. Went back there for like 2 years after graduating. We kind of worked remotely, so like we did some like projects like for Kickstarter. We did like a mentor game and some more sort of just game jam kind of things, just sort of because we worked in the class, but then didn't actually form the company until after a little bit. Once we kind of were back all in the same space and realized like we actually work really well together.
Yeah. And I know now the company has more people who aren't in New York, right? Or at least.
It's primarily still the three of us, but we do like we work a lot with like contractors, like either artists or people who work like. It kind of changes depending on the project in question and like where we are in it. But
Oh, go to the right through that
Yes.
secret. Yeah.
Yep.
we have to earn our keep as the informed party.
It's actually a reference to another indie game that I don't know if it's out yet.
I think it's still out. It's kind of like in that space of Owlboy, where it's just this amazing pixel art thing that of course takes like a bajillion years to actually make because it's just that pretty.
Yeah.
But like I think it's still not quite out yet.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, there are a huge number of extremely unique characters that we'll be seeing once we get to Slime Town.
Yes. Yeah. Both original and also those cameos that you see when you're actually playing through the levels.
Yeah, are the cameos, actually, it hadn't occurred to me that they might be from other games. Is that like?
Almost, yeah. The vast majority are from other games. There's one or two that are like more like book references. Like I think Fabian had one from Ender's Game because he was reading it at the time.
That's
There's one
excellent.
from like just a version of Diver from our last game. But most of them are indie cameos from like other devs whose projects were kind of like in development at the same time.
I love how that sort of spirit seems to happen almost more often in aggressive platformers. Like,
Misery Loves Company.
yeah. But you have games like Meat Boy where it's completely filled with
Yes.
cameos from other similarly styled games.
Yeah,
like
and
a
Shovel
bit
Knight
trip.
has a little bit of
Yep.
it too. Yeah.
Yep. And so I know Fabraz now is has also started helping out other indie devs with the publishing process.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to plug Skellboy at all.
Oh man, you're doing like half of our job for us.
Yeah,
So kind of like while working on our own projects, because we had access to like the Switch Dev Kit and other console platforms, we decided to try and basically reach out to other small indie studios and work to help them release their games on specifically like different console and platforms as a publisher. So we're now doing our second one. The first one was Spirit Sphere DX, and now we're about to get ready to launch Skellboy on WoW Echo. That feels so much more spacious. Skellboy on the Switch in December 3rd to 6th?
Yes, December 3rd.
December 3rd.
Okay,
That
yeah.
was a recent announcement from what I understand.
Yeah, back on the Nintendo
Yeah.
Indie World Report.
Congrats on the date.
Thank you. So we're very much in the thick of just getting that all done and testing and everything.
Was Slime Song self-published?
No, so we worked with Head Up Games
Head Up,
over
right.
in Germany.
Yeah. It's great that you're able to sort of take those learnings and like pass it on to the community. That's awesome.
Yeah, and just like the level of access that, dev kits are expensive, and
Yeah.
finding a middle ground for other smaller teams to actually get it out there using that also.
Yeah. I think as I was saying earlier before I got summoned, I think one of you maybe told me about this game at Play NYC last year when you were there to show off Spirit Sphere.
Right.
And I did immediately buy it and play through.
Oh, nice.
Our
So
pitch
good
worked.
job.
It's really good name.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hopefully it wasn't too painful a process.
I mean, a little, but that's the point.
Yeah, as long as within the reasonable range you'd be expecting.
Right. And here we are, the lore.
Yes.
This is where we sort of showcase our sort of Japanophilia of giving the name Slime Song is just like these little vignette scenes of just a little piece of Japanese life, though obviously twisted a little bit.
Right. The worms are kind of assholes, huh?
Kind of, yeah. Like there's one or two that are nice. I guess there could also be a little bit more complicated story to them, because there's at least one you can discover in like Slumptown that's like a worm support group of them trying to like talk through this act of aggression from Slime Song. But yeah, they for the most part are just kind of dicks about it. Though to be fair, you're also just like inside their house, more or
Well,
less.
you didn't ask to be there.
You're a forced house guest, I guess.
There's many perspectives to it.
There's more gray in this story.
Right. Do the enemy types have names actually?
Probably
Internal?
Internally,
Internally, we've named them.
like
It's very
pretty
generic ones,
Yeah, it's
though,
like
yeah.
flying. Well, we have birdies, so I guess like that's on brand.
For
Well, like we don't have any non-generic names in our games.
I get you, right? Yeah.
So it's like wormy, flying wormy, roaming wormy. I guess we got more fancy with some of the NPC names like Red Shadow.
Right.
Yeah, there's some good ones in there.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Where like we just went full anime. That there's Red Shadow, who's kind of like your mirror double of like your rival, and then he has his own birdie called Crimson Blaze. I think I changed the name a couple times depending on who I was talking to.
Do you remember any of the other candidates or like?
I think one was like Magenta Beak.
That's also very good.
Yeah, I remember Beak being.
Yeah,
The,
I know
Yeah.
there's Beak, and I'm pretty sure I usually just like open at the source of like, all right, I need to change. Like I can't use Crimson again. What's another red?
search up synonyms. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's what good writing is.
So, Jordan, I think you've been mostly collecting the apples, right?
I've been collecting about half, but if one's
Okay.
taking me too long, I'm not.
Yeah, and I
taking
know at least
much
for
time.
World 1, you have collected all of the apples once. I've seen you do it.
Yes.
And you can get most of the good stuff of like at least seeing what's on offer on the stores.
Right,
To get
right.
everything. At the very least, you can skip all of the shaders, which were fun to add in, but I think can be divisive for people.
We did take a good look
Well,
at a few of the shaders when we were
I think
testing this out earlier.
let's get through World 1 and then we'll give the town a visit and
Okay.
take a look at some of the stuff that's
Nice.
For
on
Virtua
display
Boy
there.
playthrough.
yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, there is a lot in this game, huh?
We had nobody told us to stop.
Right. So it's like in the base game there were 100.
Yeah.
100
Or
stages
101,
of 4-ish levels
yeah.
each.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then like one sort of super level that was like
Right.
a combination of everything.
Plus Were there a handful of there were mini games in the original release, yeah. Although
5
y'all
of those.
really leaned into that in the expansion.
I guess maybe more so. I guess because we added them because we had to delay adding the mini games for the Switch release, so like we did add some of the ones that were in the base release on PC in the expansion ones on the Switch as well. If anything, we pulled back on it because those were a painful development process because it was like
Yeah.
it was essentially 5 mini game jams
Yeah.
in like the month leading up to release.
I mean, it's an interesting challenge to give to yourself to say like, hey, we made this platformer, what if we put Mario Kart in it?
It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Yeah, I don't deny that. I'm just saying it was an interesting choice.
It's a very neutral way of putting it.
And actually, I guess, since this is probably something that we should be saying at the beginning of the stream, this game is available for damn near everything, right?
Yes.
Mac, PC, Switch,
Yeah.
PS4, Xbox One.
Linux
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
For the 5 out there.
Okay, yeah. I mean, a lot of the games in here are running on Linux, so
It's a great platform. It's like super open-ended and engaged.
says the developer. But I don't disagree. I don't disagree with you.
The one platform we missed out on that was always my aspiration was the Kindle Fire TV because that's technically an option in Unity, but it's just I could not convince the rest to really pursue it.
Is the dev kit support there for that, or?
Sure.
Okay,
I don't know
yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
Research this that much.
There we go.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah, all luck. Pure luck.
So I know this game has multiple levels of built-in speedrunning support. You have by-stage leaderboards, as well as a dedicated speedrunning mode that just gives you this horrifying timer at the top of the screen.
Those can also make for a nicer play experience because like you skip the interstitial and take out level, so it's actually like
If you just want to be right in it the whole time.
and
Yeah.
you just kind of complete like it just flows with the game and you never actually get taken out of it.
Have you had those wonderful experiences of like speedrunners finding horrific glitches, and then would you mind talking about that? I would love to hear more about this.
The two that stand out to me, I guess, are like the two versions of how this can play out is the simple one of like we dropped place a tile collider somewhere so they can just fall through the level and just like, oh, suddenly they can just skip 80% of this. And they're like, we had a whole debate on whether we should leave it in or take it out, and we landed on leave it because it's like there are not that many of them. It's kind of a nice moment of discovery where
Yeah.
you know, kind of.
Yeah.
And also, like, you didn't want to ever invalidate the leaderboards like that. Like, if you do that, then you have to win the wall the times that you
Oh,
did.
that's
and
true.
that thing.
Yeah.
The other one that was more open as a debate and where we actually reached out to the community to try and figure out, like, their thoughts on it was there's a little bit of a buffer timer that every time you start a level, like, it locks your input from a super short time, like 0.2
Is it just
seconds or something.
that like
just-
circle animation?
Yeah. It's just going to basically be that if you're holding a direction, don't immediately fly off into the void and die or something. So it's just like a sort of fire piece thing. But it was discovered that the very first time you play, it actually doesn't happen. It's only upon death. So we discovered that the speedrunners were they would play a level and try and use this as a tactic and then restart the level if they died because they lost out this time bonus.
Right.
And then we decided, like, should we keep this in or
Yeah.
get rid of it? Should we integrate it so that this is an option where you can have this timer remove for all of it? So that, because, like, I could see the appeal of it, but, like, we don't want to, like, have to restart levels. So, like, that's an annoying constraint.
That's a weird constraint. Yeah.
So I think we landed on making that an option in the settings where it's defaulted to being enforced at all times, but then players can turn it off if they really want that sort of, like,
That's good. Yeah.
edge level control.
And people like me would literally never notice, which is probably good.
Yeah, that was cool. Like,
Yeah.
not sort of make it jarring for people who just want more sort of casual, loaded term of games, but like the less intensive experience.
Relaxed. I like relaxed. Yeah. It's relaxed gaming.
Throbbing electronic music.
I'm a relaxed gamer. Yeah, can we actually talk about that music?
The music is very
The
good.
music is
I'm a
extremely
huge fan
good.
of the music.
How did you get so many people?
I mean,
So I think it was I guess mainly through Twitter, right? Our teammate Fabian, he is very, how you say, yeah, exactly. So, yeah, he got in contact with a lot of different musicians and some that we also met through events like GDC or PAXs, and yeah, so we got like a whole bunch of artists to
I think the goal was
contribute.
like he sent it out to probably 17 or 20 and thought one would respond, and then like we will work from there, and we're just kind of testing the waters, and then they all kind of were interested and sent us back stuff. We're like,
Yes, they're like, all right. So we'll have like 1 to 2 tracks per artist.
Yeah, yeah.
Being contributed.
And there's some pretty big names in the chiptune world in this.
like Adhesive Wanda, I think we got like
Yeah,
for Ireland.
Adhesive Pen is on there. Mechanico is on there. Kubi, a personal favorite of mine. It's not viewers. It's on Spotify if you're interested.
Yes.
You can also get a extremely bright green vinyl somewhere.
That was a very important stipulation for us in our contracts. It had to be see-through green.
Yeah, see through.
Yes.
Ooh, that's good.
The vinyl's available on
Watch the records.
yeah.
Yeah.
But also was it through
Maybe it belongs.
yeah.
I think so. Or maybe other. I think we might have to something else.
Right. Yeah.
We're very informal on that.
Gotta double check, you know.
I mean, out of fairness, I am asking you questions about things that happened like 2 or more years ago.
Right, yeah.
Which I recognize.
Just so forward thinking, it's just, what's today?
Right. Are
Our
you?
usage of down.
Yep. Get that water level
Yep.
rising faster.
Just dashing to make it happen faster because everything happens faster when you dash.
Successful soundtrack modulation.
So
Yeah,
is that,
it's
is
really
that
good.
when the water triggers?
It's when you are close to the rising water.
That's good.
Yeah, we tried to do a couple sound reactive things like with notes for a single type of music.
Yeah, but you've also managed to keep like the track plays for the entire set of levels, which is quite nice. It doesn't interrupt on death, it doesn't interrupt on screen transition.
Yeah, I mean, we tried to make sure, like, you die a lot in this. And
Yes,
we
you
tried
do.
We were very
Can
mindful of, like,
confirm.
we just cannot have anything that's mildly grating because it goes from, like, a
Yeah.
small noise to the most obnoxious thing ever.
Right.
Like, we early on had, like, a way more, not much longer, but just more flashy kind of death splash screen where it's, like spinning, like lights or lines spreading in a radial pattern, like spinning with slams on the middle. It's just, like, it didn't take that much longer, but it's just enough sort of noise and, yeah, there's a little scene
Yep.
there.
Yep.
That was just, like, too much for that sort of repetition.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
if you're dying 10, 15 times a level conservatively, then that adds up.
Yeah.
Any little extra time in the animation will add up a lot.
Yeah.
There it is.
Nice. All right, who we got in here?
This is Flappy Jack, isn't it?
I love this name.
Flappy Jack.
So were you reaching out to the Flappy people for this, or?
So for this one, I don't think so. 'Cause
You
it was
just did
more-
it.
It was more removed from it. It was like
Yeah.
more like a.
Because I think you'd already taken it down from the story, and there's a whole like converter thing there.
Yep.
For all the ones still in development, we very much tried to reach out because especially if they had dialogue and like a tone, we want to make sure like it was
You're
representative
respecting
of that.
someone
Yeah.
else's.
Wasn't sort of
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I think they still do that with the Slug Cat. There's
Yes.
is that the name of the game?
Rain World.
Grimwald, yes, thank you. That like there they talk in basically a made up like language that's like just sort of
Which is what happens in Rain World, right?
yeah. I think we have dialogue for that or like it's written out, but obviously you can't actually understand it.
The lost transcript.
Deep lore.
Yeah.
The lost Rain Cat transcript of Slime Song.
No, it's like you just decode the delivery in the level metagame narrative and you can actually translate it.
Right. Is there wink twice if there's a metagame?
I was done after the minigame. There was no way.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
We realized there was maybe a limit to our ambitions.
How long was Slime Song in development for? It was. Let me see. Another quiz for me. Released
2017? With DLC in 2018?
I guess it's a test for more than just Matt.
2016, right?
No, it's 2016.
2016. Okay.
Yeah, so it's 2016 June,
No, April.
April?
Because it was with Humble Bundle, right? Yeah, we were.
That's
part of
right.
the
It was,
Humble
yeah, it was like a featured game with them.
Yes.
Yeah.
They do that for every year, every month, where it's like they do a gaming event like like made
Debut.
for that.
Original, right?
Yeah, there's an original
Yeah.
and there's a debut where it's like one
Right.
that just released at that time and
Yes.
another that they contract out to get someone to design game just for that, where it's like a little micro experience.
Also, we are here at the first boss.
Intestines.
How early on did you decide that you wanted to have boss levels? Because it's not like it's somewhat conventional for the genre now. I feel like it didn't used to be.
Yeah.
Pretty
Pretty early on, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because it's gone through a couple iterations, and I believe the first boss was there even like in our very first public showing at Gamescom back in 2016.
Yeah, you're right about that.
And that, like, you just played, like, it was just the first time and wrapped up there. So it was pretty early on. We kind of, we leaned into it really hard, like, playing with the different ways we could kind of integrate with mechanics. So, like, this is by far probably the most sort of straightforward, and I think shows a little bit of the first one. It's not that it's, like, suffers for it, but it's, we get a lot more out there with kind of, like, what we're asking to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fights. I think with, the final boss, the DLC boss, is kind of breaking it to a certain degree.
The final boss goes very far, yes. We're probably not going to get to it tonight, but the final boss goes quite far.
That was a lot of fun design. That was like a
I can
solid
imagine.
2-3 weeks of just like, what can we throw at
What's the
this?
next stage?
Exactly.
We also very much discovered like, man, we really love boss phase design.
And yes, let's take this opportunity to check out Slumptown. So, good lord. Like,
There is
It's a common
so
reaction.
much here.
yeah, there's so much. It's also, I mean, you can just, if Jordan just kept going level by level, we never would have seen this, right?
Yeah. But
Yes.
There's
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
There's no moment.
But it is
to it.
right there in the menu.
It's actually made showcasing it at like at Expo is kind of hard because it was just there,
Yes.
but players would just end up wandering around for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
There is
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
One of many things you can buy in here is just art for these two sidebars here. What was the one that I had? Or
Yeah.
did
I think it was that. Yeah, you went with the full. Yeah,
Yes.
there it is.
Yes, I'm a fan of this one.
Is this Fabian's art?
No, so this is we work with a bunch of different illustrators.
Oh,
for, like,
awesome.
different promotional artworks, and we use it for posters at like shows and stuff, and just as like another way of sort of hyping up the game, sort of show them off in a different style.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
this
get-
was
My
Stell,
personal favorite.
Get that bow back.
Because I think she was. You
Because
sure?
Dell wasn't Dell only
The, like-
Slumtown one. I thought. She might have done something.
Oh, because I know.
Bird pants.
Yeah, because this is one of the early ones too,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, because I know I'm remembering the Slumtown one and
all so good.
the one where the poster one that we had where you're in the mouth. Yeah. So maybe those two were just.
Oh, with no shades? Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Because then we had Trudy Castle,
Right, and she did the
one of the DLC ones. Yeah. Oh, so
Notice that all of the things you can buy to decorate your character do not move with their animations, which I think is excellent.
We approach our games with a loving level of jank.
It's great.
We tried to make it as fashionable and accessorized as possible.
Yeah. No, it really does add an excellent level.
My personal favorite is there's a Birds with Arms one for
Yeah.
where he's just,
Yeah.
like,
Yep,
using root.
birds with arms, excellent. And here is maybe one of the. Can you just tell us what you were thinking with these shaders?
We found we had a bunch of these shaders. We're like, man, this looks cool. Why not? And then we realized maybe people can't actually play this, and we put in a mild version.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still all that much more playable, but it's technically.
Oh, and they would also change the sound.
Yes.
So
I-
the way
yeah.
you hear the sound effects and the music get affected as well.
I did not
depending on
realize that there was a filter on the sound as well.
Yes.
Boy, won't get too real crunchy.
Do you have enough apples left?
I have. These are very cheap,
Okay.
and I have quite
Okay,
a few
good, good, good.
apples. What
Good
do we-
decision making them cheap.
But yeah,
So-
you don't want this to be a big investment.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is my favorite. My favorite is the VHS.
Oh yeah, it's a
Yeah.
classic one.
Yep. And you get the vision lines, the scan lines, absolutely excellent.
That nostalgic distortion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can barely see what I'm doing now.
Glass house speakers.
Stan Lee.
All right, let's change this.
Y'all had a
change
lot
this
of fun
back
with the
to-
names, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, the puns get thrown around a lot in the office.
Right,
I
right.
think the bird's almost like universally talking puns. And
Buzzard Aldrin.
That one I think eventually we actually had to go to a bird pun generator, which is actually like for that. Like we tried our best, but there was a limit with like the number of bird characters we had.
You going for the?
Suits. There's a common sort of cycle that we got into development because of just the small nature of our team. That because like I would be the programmer implement mechanics, and just be moments where maybe and Edgar would have the time to just like the mechanics would write the next world, and they would just start building out worlds. Sometimes like that moment there, that little screen you can wander over was simply because like you could see that there was this little section of
Yeah.
the screen. We thought we could just go back
Put
there
something.
to the other screen,
Yeah.
and, like connect it. And it's, I think, a big part of why Sunshine got a little bit out of hand was just those brief breaks where I was
Right,
playing something
right.
and he was like, well, I guess I can just keep on adding to it.
There was definitely more to add.
I think it started as like 3 screens.
That's true. It's just 3 screens. Yeah. Then same thing with like New Game Plus for all the levels. So like when you were saying earlier, like,
Yes,
how many
yes.
levels we have is like.
Well,
Yeah, so there's the 100 main game ones with 4 screens per, unless it's like a special
yeah,
level.
with a handful of scrolling levels thrown in there.
Yeah. Then it's just like a New Game Plus version for each one. Then the DLC just adds. Like,
What's the total count? So that's 800 from the base game, counting New Game Plus.
I think it's 160, 170 for like with
For
DLC
just-
for the first pass.
Okay.
for standard difficulty. And then I guess
120, I guess, for the New Game Plus.
320 stages of 4 screens.
yeah. So,
It's a lot of content.
yes.
I just had that moment of reflection, like turning 30, where it's like, oh man, there has been that much time. And it's like, oh man, we did do that much. You know,
yeah.
why didn't anybody tell us?
Yeah, and then stuff like this too. Like
Yeah,
target practice.
yeah.
Yeah,
This
we
is
did
new
target
to me.
mode.
I did not stumble across this when I was going through the first level this past week.
In the DLC, we also added a little like music mini game.
Ah, yeah, the rhythm one. That was fun making the.
And actually, speaking of things you added in level counts, you then released a level editor.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, at that point, it seemed like that was a more reasonable thing to do.
That's
Off-
fair,
some of our work. Otherwise, it's just untenable.
Although that was already. That was already when we were done with the games. It's like, ah.
That was our last little like hurrah for it.
Yeah.
So it is done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're now moving on between both the publishing, we're focusing on Scaleboy, and then our own sort of next project that is still sort of under wraps, not public yet, but is pretty hard.
Let us know. Let us know if you want. You know.
First year.
All right. Cool. What's this guy got?
By the next level.
Oh.
Lovely.
Oh, chat wasn't updating on my app. I'm sorry. Celeste, which came out over a year after Slime Song, drew on many of the same self-imposed difficulty curve mechanics and sparked a discourse around how to effectively and inclusively build varying levels of challenge into the massacre genre of games. How has this conversation influenced the work Fabraz is doing on your newer project? That is a great question. Thank you,
Yeah,
Doom
that's
Church.
a really great one.
Yeah, there's been. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I mean, first off, I love how Celeste handled difficulty and accessibility, but like they have still probably the most amazing talent and granular controls for that.
He did a really good job with it, yeah.
Yeah.
And also leaning really, I like work in online accessibility, so the fact that they leaned extremely hard into that, like as almost as like a first-class feature of the game was really refreshing.
Yeah.
And like to make sure that like anybody can get that message.
yeah.
But not to avoid the question. I don't know if our perspective on it has changed actually since less, because I think we were kind of trying to approach all that stuff during the design of this PS. Like obviously there's the time slowdown. I'm thinking of that as both like an extreme thing for like speedrunners, but also more accessible for people who just want to have that level of control and slow things down. just gave me a crash course on like all the different things you might need to think about more accessibly of like how you can make something that's not that easy.
Yeah.
A big chunk of your
Yeah,
audience.
I'm working at EdTech right now, so yeah.
Specifically, red-green color blindness might be a big problem for somebody playing this game.
Oh yeah, especially with the
But there
color.
are palette options.
Yeah, so
There are palette
we
options.
both add like immediately just like specific settings for colorblind modes, and then we also add just a slider that lets you adjust it to whatever you want.
Yeah.
Which is on like the main settings screen, right? It's just right up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we have stuff like button mapping, just to make all of that fit your preference on how you prefer playing
Yeah.
games. Or
Yeah. The level skipper, which you modify.
yes.
Yep.
Right.
If you are having trouble with the level, you do not have to complete it as long as you are collecting apples in other levels, which is
Yeah.
a good
And
way to
then-
do it.
Along that note, also the different play styles that you can unlock with the apples also make certain things easier. So depending on your play style, you might prefer one play style over the other, and then it makes it a lot easier to get through levels too.
I guess like the main difference I've seen is like
Nice.
Yeah, that was a good
Thank
one.
you.
yeah,
Good luck again.
it's always good for those like last minute saves. But that Celeste has more of like it changes on the most top level layer of it of like slowing down time. It doesn't change the format of the game. Whereas I think our design sense really is pushed us more to have things within the framework of the game that were sort of
Yeah.
like safety valves to adjust that difficulty within
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah, yeah.
Not that there's one like two advantage one to others.
Yeah, they're different philosophies. Yeah. Yeah. How you doing, Jordan? You're in
Doing all right.
uncharted territory.
I am.
here.
I'm just having trouble dashing at these things and getting too close to them, but this is not a terrible one. We will see what else is in store for me here. Well,
It's about the plateau.
I can kind of see. I
Good
don't know where
read,
the
good
apple
read.
was in that, but you could see
Yeah,
the
yeah,
red
right.
behind the green there.
Yep.
Ooh, hope the mic didn't pick up on that.
Just crunch right in there.
Hello, Twitch. sorry, Jamie.
Barada the mouse. Cheese puns. I love it.
we do love ice noise. Yeah.
There's another moment of love for Japanese culture with the maid cafe.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. I'm guessing that was a foundational element of the game studio getting put together.
Apparently, it did come up really into this game. Like we all kind of liked obviously playing Japanese culture between like anime games and just having traveled there occasionally. But this was the first time really was like actually put into the game on a surface level or like on an immediate thing about it.
Right, yeah. I guess aside from just Fabian's art style kind of gearing already towards a sort of anime look. Not for this game, but more for like Planet Diver.
Yeah, Planet Diver. That was a strong. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And, I guess Wow Pixel was kind of
A little bit,
the case
yeah.
too. Yeah.
I guess, yeah, how early on in this game was the decision made of like, we're gonna go ultra limited color palette, pixel, red chiptune soundtrack.
Super early on, I think we
Yeah.
did basically one test kind of just like test run of a art style and more like realistic color palette for lack of a better term. And for one, the game is a little bit gross in terms of subject matter, and it was a lot worse. It was like
The more real it
Flesh
is,
tones.
just
Word.
yeah.
I think the color palette at first was like the test ones were more like brown earth tones.
yeah, and like light blue skies and stuff.
Like that you're
Yeah,
calling
yeah.
And
them
that
earth
was
tones
like,
instead
oh,
of
this is
something.
not working. And then between that and just like the gameplay benefits of just that clarity of like.
You know exactly where edges are. You know exactly where. Yeah.
And that's, like it just became super helpful for mechanics at the time of knowing like we just came in from the rule of thumb of like red's bad, green is like even more fluid and solid, if it's mixed with white then some kind of interactive thing to engage with. White is just solid as a just kind of So let us sort of the hope for me was like we could throw mechanics at the player just nonstop and they would have just enough of a sense of what they might entail that they can sort of
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, to the point where we got, well, at least for me, I got so used to it that now, like working on our current project, it's made it kind of hard sometimes. Where I got so used to that color limitation, where I'm like, okay, we need other things to kind of signal what's bad or what's interactable or whatever.
You heard it here first. The new Fabraz game can't get by with 5 colors. Rumor mill is churning.
We have colors in the game.
All right, a new mechanic here that I have yet to see is keys.
Yes.
There's a lock. Okay, each key seems to be connected to a specific lock.
Yes. Oh no. So this one is kind of a mean, puzzly one where, yeah, you're trying to. There was a wormy down there, and it's able to trigger the last key.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
see.
You're kind of babysitting him at the end.
All
Yeah.
right,
So you're
I
trying to
am
find the right.
You are on the
order.
clock.
on
yeah.
the clock. Yeah. Nope. All right, so I need to get.
So it's like
All right, this one is the first one I
middle,
need
top,
to get.
right,
Yep.
left, and yeah.
And I'm having
All
trouble
right.
getting there.
You're ready for it now. You're ready for it now, though.
That's it. How do I? What's the reset button?
Oh, the touchpad, I think.
I believe it's the touchpad on the PlayStation
Yes.
controller. Yeah. Shake.
Oh,
Nice.
This is third.
You missed the first one.
What? Oh, I didn't even notice. Alright, getting the hang.
no, it's good.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Everything's good.
Nice.
All right.
And you're even set up for the apple.
Yep. I'm a professional. And all right.
Nice. Got it.
Oh God.
We sometimes escalate.
It does feel like you really got into the swing of like, okay, here's the new thing, but too much. Here's
Yeah. Oh, no, you go first.
I was just gonna say, like, there are these kind of schools of thought for usually it comes up from platform design, but I guess any kind of mechanical design of like the sort of the safe
safe learning environment, yeah.
Ramp it up and add complexity.
Yeah.
It's kind of we very much lean into that more screen structure for levels and like.
That's true. That works out really well. For
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So it's like a really good way of sort of formalizing how we approach the design of these.
Yeah, there was actually was it
Nice.
Game Maker's Toolkit?
Yes.
Yeah, that did a
Yeah,
video on,
GMTK, yeah.
Mario Galaxy, right?
Any Mario game, really?
I mean, yes.
But specifically,
Sure.
yes, there's a really good video. That's Mark Brown series, right?
Yes.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
think it's for the new. It's not sure, so I think it's like the new Super Mario.
Oh, yeah,
it-
it's the
he
world.
definitely
3D
discusses
world
it in
land.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
when talking about the Mario Maker games that have come out. When he was recommending how people make their own levels in that.
Oh,
Yeah.
He did do a video on
There's
that.
also variations on a theme was his big.
This whole
teaching
stage
that.
loves Mark Brown. I'm just gonna put that out there. Mark Brown, if you're watching, if you're interested in coming to Wonderville sometime,
Definitely.
Pretty awesome.
it'd be fantastic.
He's still
Yeah.
my go-to guy for like if I'm trying to like explain like design concepts to people who aren't as familiar or like just like he just makes it very
He does it. And actually, his series on game accessibility was extremely good.
Oh yes. Even more so there.
Yeah, yeah. No, he's the man's a legend. You heard it here first. DBAA loves Mark Brown.
Previously not, but now a legend.
Nice.
Thank you. Nope. I was in my mind considering whether or not to go for the apple and just not paying attention to where I was and what I had to be doing.
Yeah, this whole mechanic with the switching blocks is very
Oh,
much like
yeah.
What was it like? Pat your belly, rub your head.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. This is.
Yes.
I'm having a time here. Screw the apple. Oh no! I did it again.
You can just get that wall. You've got a little safe space.
Well, you feel so secure with the slowdown that you then forget your careen right through the screen.
Yep.
Yep.
Ah.
So I remember, like, it wasn't in this level. This level I just sort of stumbled through. But later I did get to the point of getting really good at just tapping it in exactly that scenario.
Right,
Because
yeah.
there's also a whole timing thing that because you can kind of like queue up the release if you're inside the block.
Exactly.
And then you'll slide out.
Yeah.
And switches over.
All right. I should just try and take this slow. I can do this.
You actually got a lot of time, in part because you're slowing time the whole time. But the lava's moving quite slow here.
There's no shame there. I definitely played with the heavy use of the timer for the slowdown.
The slowdown, same.
There we go.
So do I.
Yeah, but me trying to do that is what got me killed like 3 times at the bottom there because I was holding on to it.
You have to
too
figure
long.
out exactly how much of a habit you want to have here.
Alright, see, I don't do that. I never play with a slowdown. See, that's where you're going wrong.
There we go.
You're like, screw the apple.
Yeah, well, the second time I died down there, I had just said, screw the apple, and then as I said that, I came out and just fell through and
Unfortunately,
died.
the apple screws back.
Yeah, it's a delightful apple placement in this one too, I gotta say.
Oh, yeah, this is
I really big fan of that. Nice.
Thank you.
Got it in 2.
Oh,
Almost.
oh.
There's that nervous moment of like, okay, I have it. I don't want to mess this up.
Yep.
Should I sing or should I zag?
Yeah.
I did both, and it didn't work.
It's also, I think, when some of the different playstyles also get to be a lot more helpful depending on your playstyle. So, like, is it twice?
I think so. The floaty one, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, you get a lot more air time. There's some like, tricks with, like, doing ground pound where you actually get an extra bound that like,
Okay.
you still have your jump and not the whole exploit kind of things.
Yeah,
Just hold this and
that's
finish
definitely
that.
how I solved that.
Yep.
I remember.
So, what is this?
For the
Okay.
for the different characters with different movement mechanics like that, are there separate leaderboards for the speedrunning community, or is it
No, so
considered balanced enough that?
Oh, these are going between red and icy.
We probably should have checked first their thoughts on the balancing of it. No, so what we do is we show the icon of who they are.
I
So
see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if this is a meta thing of you really want to focus in on like just playing, like this is the exceptional playstyle for this level, then people will sort of gravitate towards that and realize and figure it out.
Yeah.
The part where I guess maybe this would come in and doesn't really kind of become like a separate leaderboard is for the old speed runs because you can't change playstyle.
Right.
There, you might have one for the entire run, and then
Right.
some levels are from typical as well. It's easier.
But either way, it seems like a good sort of compromise to just say, like, listen, if it matters to you, you can see that
Yeah.
you are the best person who has done Kawaii.
Exactly.
Yep.
Well, I'll not be too restrictive for everyone else.
Yeah. So, Edgar, I know you did a lot of like play testing for this game, right?
Yeah.
How did you how did you know when it was the right level of
That-
like difficulty?
That one's tough. Well, actually, we bounced back a lot in terms of because Fabian ends up doing a lot of play testing as well, and so we'll end up playing each other's levels and kind of tweak some stuff based on that, or give each other
Yeah.
feedback. Like, okay, it felt like this was too hard.
Did
or
I let
easy,
someone
whatever.
die? I probably
Oh.
did. Yes, I did.
This
All
is
right.
this is the another mean one where you're
I see.
trying
So
to
I have to let
babysit.
it has to be slowed down that whole time.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is like right when it's about to go to the other block,
Yep.
you switch. Yeah.
The
Both.
juicy 2 square hitbox.
Yeah.
It's a little bit forgiving for his. He has great sense of balance.
Yeah.
Got it.
Oh.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
I should have planned that out more, knowing
I was about to start the slow clap too.
too soon.
Well, it's too slow for it, so.
Am I gonna die from that? I am.
But
I'm,
also with the difficulty, also the change with because you guys were shuffling around the order as well, right? So like we would be
Yes.
changing, slotting ones in and out depending on the challenge and like what felt right for it.
Yeah, that'll be per world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see. So you'd say, like, we know we want this mechanic to be sort of in this block, but we have to
Yes.
figure out where to.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, you got this.
Yep.
Just go. Oh, okay, or not.
I was taking no chances.
Yep. How did you come up with the trophy times?
I think it was just like playing them and then adding a couple seconds on top of what
Yeah.
we felt like were our times because obviously we
Assuming
just
that you
familiar
weren't
with
going to
it.
be the fastest people in the world at it.
Yeah,
Oh
I mean,
yeah, definitely not.
again, recognizing we're all here to learn and have fun, but that's a very low trophy time for this. So.
Yeah, there's some that even the ones that we thought were like, oh, we're being not as lenient or like pretty like
Yeah.
strict with
Mean.
it.
You can say mean.
Yeah.
Sadistic, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, some people just manage to still surprise us with how quickly they finish the level.
Yeah, just like the change in playstyle can drastically change what you can do in a certain level. And just like I think we're also kind of continuously, or took a while to fully realize what you could do with Slime Son's like movement mechanics with just how some of the rules combine, like the whole maintaining a jump of like how far you can really get in terms of just like you can just dash across a couple levels
You
that
go
feel like you should not be able to make.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that one speed run. I was just like, oh, you're just sort of,
It's like-
you're just going.
It's like, oh, it's that easy. Okay, just jump. But you still have to put in the time to figure out like, oh, that's even a possibility. in the
Right,
first
right.
place.
You have to know to try it. And then you have to know how to like actually hold on to maximize all of those resources.
Yeah, and then there's still those times where you're like, you do that, but then you still like grab just one little edge of a cube before you slide into the red, and you have to like wall jump off of it, and like you still have to change a bunch of other things.
Oh no. I just got a flashback to the New Game Plus version of some of these levels.
Oh boy.
They
Yeah.
tend to be a little harder.
Yeah, they get really mean.
Ah.
So this is like the city zone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Filing cabinets
I guess
inside.
in the lore, this is the same environment as Slump Town.
Gotcha.
Right, yeah.
Gotcha.
I don't know if that's been stated before, so I'm just winging it.
I'll be sure to update the wiki.
We have a wiki.
I know
it was,
you have
it was
a wiki.
amazing.
I've been on your wiki. I was on your wiki earlier today.
This was shocking to us. We loved it. Someone even made like a point spectrum of like the different play styles and their like speed, maneuverability. Yeah, I was like, that's amazing.
S rank. I mean, it is a beloved game, so congrats on that.
Thank you. Thank you. Or do you mean Donkey Kong?
Well, both.
I'll take either one.
Ah. Come on, I think there we go. That's what we're trying to do.
Are the barrels in any other level, or is it just this?
There's a couple others.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, we play around with it a little more.
Yeah, but generally
There's no
rule of
wrong
thumb is-
answer to that question.
Yeah, just barrels just for the sake of the Donkey Kong reference. Oh.
Oh,
Trying to bounce or
oh, he's doing
I don't
something.
know. I was just
Barrels.
seeing,
Yeah, I just realized
seeing what I
that
could with
too.
him. There we
Oh,
go.
there we go.
We've killed Donkey Kong.
Did you not know that would?
We usually make a big focus of making sure everything red kills you. I guess we're treating that as a background element.
Samples over there.
We're all
Patch
learning something
incoming.
today. We exclusively just patch for mean-spirited things.
Right, right. So this is Unity, right?
Yes.
Yes.
But I was also gonna say with like the barrels that generally we never really had a one-off mechanic that was only for one level. We always would approach it as like introduce a level like focusing on one mechanic in a level, but then always combining it in new ways in like mixer levels in between the ones
Yeah.
adding a new one.
Especially in the New Game Plus, that's where we had a lot more freedom on how to combine.
Because you could be so much meaner.
Yes, exactly.
We were more reserved in the normal game.
Yeah, yeah. This isn't even your final form.
Well, the assumption was like, well, they played through the normal game. They know what they're getting into.
Right.
Let's give the people what they want.
Right, they've committed at that point.
Yeah. Who are we to second guess their judgment on this?
What's the sort of where does the DLC land in the difficulty curve? Is it between?
I would say it's about like a little harder than the same or a little harder than the end of the main game.
Okay,
But
yeah.
not as hard as
Yeah.
New Game Plus.
Yeah, not as hard as New Game Plus, because that also has its own New Game Plus. So.
But also like starts off I think a little lighter, where it sort of resets some of that just by adding also new mechanics, and then ramps up to
That's
the
true,
same level.
yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, but the third one especially, or second DLC rather, especially, it gets like we got a lot more out there in terms of like play styles and has more like puzzly, weird, tricky elements
Yeah.
to it.
Was the second sheeple?
Yes.
Yeah.
So there we have like we just have a very different structure where it switches to having two play styles that you actually are mandatory for the levels, and it's like a very distinct kind of play style for each.
Yeah.
We might be able to. We can just hop into it from the menu, right?
Yeah, they're all accessible.
So we can consider looking in on that. Checking time here because we did start very late. That's all right. We're having a good time.
We're keeping it cash.
You guys
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
I'm over here dying over and
Do you
over.
like a drink or something?
I'm good.
Okay. I can get you a drink.
I'm all right. I appreciate the offer.
So the goal with the DBA Plays series is to get local independent developers like yourselves in here, in part to just sort of talk about how great the local indie dev scene is. So I know I've seen your games at local events, Play NYC, I think a few different play crafting things, which I
Yeah.
imagine is also a great place to find playtesters.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Some of our most productive playtesting sessions is just like the going through the gauntlet of having 100 people play the game.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's how the super jump mechanic even came out, was just seeing like, oh, people were doing this a lot, let's lean into it.
People were trying to super jump, or
Yeah, well, they would like cancel out a dash with a jump, and we were realizing like, oh, this is just this assumption people have.
Yeah, we should make that.
Add
Yeah.
something to it. But yeah, going back to the local scene thing, like yeah, so like we've been very involved with playcrafting, and like been just that community's just been growing kind of super quickly over the years. And it's
Yeah.
been great to see.
I mean, even just like Play NYC last year versus this year.
Yes, like it's all like it feels like it's already like growing into this huge thing.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Ooh,
That's also just nice of like highlighting New York developers, because not often say people associate with like having indies around here, and that there's actually a fair number
there's
of
a
us kind
lot.
of hanging around.
Yeah, yeah. Where? I'm sorry, I think I asked this earlier, but where is Fabraz located within the city?
So we like have an office space over in the financial district.
Okay, yeah,
So we just rent one there.
yeah. I know, like through. To be honest, I'm somewhat new to the indie game scene here, but just like through the group here, I met like, oh, there's like a bunch of people just scattered across shared office spaces.
Yep.
There's like little collectives, like
Yeah, there's,
Gumbo.
like- yeah,
there's
exactly.
yeah,
Then there's like the like academic side that has like a whole sort
Yep.
of indie thing happening that's also falling into people actually forming companies
Yep.
out of it, which I guess kind of happened a little bit
kind
with
of
us.
happened. Yeah, you took Games 101 and said, hey, what?
Yeah.
Were any of you studying game design, or was it just sort of?
I was studying
Have
music.
a game design program back then?
I mean, I guess you guys kind of.
So, yeah, I was part of the design and technology part of
Yeah.
it. They had game courses, but it was more geared towards MFA. I think around the time that I was maybe like my junior, senior year is when they had a full-on games program for bachelors.
Gotcha.
That was like Kyle championing that, right?
I believe so, yeah. Yeah, because there was yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, we've got these sort of artistic / engineering oriented schools like Parsons. Obviously, there's NYU Game Center. Yeah, there seems to be.
There's also like Baby Castles, which is like
Yep.
doing like the sort of like weird out there experimental stuff.
Did you make it to Year of the Frog? Or
No.
sorry, not to Year of the Frog. Frog World. Now Year of the Pig. They've had some fun stuff.
What
this
are
year.
any of these words? I am not informed of it. Wait, what is this?
They had this extremely good exhibit set up where it was a lot of like vaguely frog themed games. Like Frog Detective was there, and
Like as in frog factions.
I think they had Frog Faction set up.
Because that's
yeah.
like the grandfather of weird
Yeah,
frog games.
yes, it is the grandfather of weird frog games. But the key was that in typical Baby Castles fashion, there were just frogs on every wall.
Man.
Like,
Baby Castle is perpetually the thing I need to go out to more, because like I've been there for like launch party events, but like they have this monthly game club that
Yep.
every
Game of the
time
month.
we were just talking about this earlier. That's like every time they have one, either I'm traveling or it's a game I like haven't played, and I feel like I just be like dead weight in that conversation. So like the one I missed most recently was like Luigi's Mansion. That was like, oh, I could finally have been involved, but I was like in San Francisco for GDC or something.
that's a pretty good excuse. It's a
Yeah.
pretty good alibi. But yeah, there seems to be a really good combination of like the academic / like aspiring professional scene, the small studio independent scene, the grunge games, punk game scene. It's like all here.
Yeah, it gives it its very own kind of like unique vibe to it, where you get
Yeah.
like there are still like the like more commercial big companies like Avalanche and Rockstar out there,
Yep.
but then you also have like the weird indies trying out the more experimental stuff.
And also every experience I've had with those larger studios like Avalanche, that they're like really excited about all the indie stuff happening.
Oh yeah, no, we know a bunch of people like that, like on Avalanche specifically. They're like super friendly and like really into the scene as well. It's definitely one of the things I like about the game community is just like how everyone is kind of just excited about like what
Yeah.
everyone else is doing. It's
Yeah.
like no one's like mapping out these spaces as like exclusive to one another.
Right. There's none of that like. There's none of the cutthroat industry you'd be really worried about.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And like the number of probably indie devs that are like listing something like Dark Souls as an inspiration, there's clearly this kind of like cross pollination. I assume that's like a dead topic by now.
We have a
Dark Souls, take a drink. So
We have a bonfire in the
Is there a bonfire in this game?
yeah in the slime
because
home.
low-key casting self
I
shade.
don't know how I missed that.
Yeah. Well, it's not
It's
that
pretty.
hidden,
It's
but
pretty hidden away.
Yeah.
It's just like off in a little like nook in a cave.
I mean, I'll say it, I love Dark Souls. Like, I think there were some cultural problems, but it's a great game.
It's a series I'm still working my way through because I had a weird thing with it where like I started with Demon Souls, but it was around high school when it
Yeah.
first came out, and
It must have been. It was Demon
yeah.
Souls.
I only played the beginning, didn't play much more afterwards.
I could see Demon Souls making it difficult.
And then I think Bloodborne was the one that I actually beat first of just like Soulsborne games.
Blood Secroborn.
Yeah,
whatever this is turning into now.
Bloodsec Born was the most recent I heard.
This feels
which
like
is-
like a weird, gross version of like the whole like marriage hyphenating name thing,
Yeah,
but like even more brutal.
yeah, very unnecessary. Just, I think the problem is that if you say From Software, that's a kind of weird studio name,
Yeah.
so you can't like count on that.
Yeah, like from soft.
From
We
games.
get into this a lot with coming from the new school. What school? It's like okay.
What new school?
Hey, actually, there's a great generic panelist question. What are y'all playing?
Oh, that's a.
Wait, sorry.
Oh,
What are you
we're
playing
playing?
now?
What are we playing now?
Yeah.
Oh, right now I'm playing a lot of Iceborne on
Same.
Monster Hunter World,
Yeah.
so I'm
Dude.
really loving it.
The fact that I like very recently figured out that you can do the slinger shotgun thing to just pivot in the middle of a greatsword charge. It's
so
insane.
good.
It's insane.
That's one of those moments of like I was just messing around with different weapons in the demo. I was like, okay, I can finally. This is like now clicking. I could totally
Yeah.
see getting into the greatsword right now.
Yeah, no, it's completely changed. I was 100% charge blade, or sorry, not charge blade, switch axe before this expansion, but I've become a greatsword believer. And
Nice.
Because it does just open so many
oh,
options.
it really does.
And just the ClutchCon in general is
The
like I've
ClutchCon
never
in
felt
general.
more like. I assume you've seen those like speedrunners where it's just like they have this mastery over the monster where it's just like we're not even playing the same game.
Yeah.
And the first time I've ever felt like I could actually approach it feeling like that was like I just got a complete dominating match with like a clutch claw against a monster. I'm like, I'm just controlling every action from you. This feels
It's great.
horrible.
It's
I feel like
great.
a bad person now.
No, it supports my hot take that the Hitman series, Monster Hunter, Outer Wilds, and Goose Game are all the same genre.
And you just listed also the two games I feel like I absolutely have on my to-do list between Goose Game and Outer Wilds.
Outer Wilds is really good.
Outer Wilds I
Goose
have
Game.
actively avoided hearing anything about because of just
That's
every
exactly what you should do. Okay.
just everyone like I've seen enough articles listing like this is the best game ever and I can't talk about where I'm like I know I'm gonna like this but I also know I should know nothing about this going in.
Yep. That's the way to play it, and that's all we'll say. Check it out.
I'm still on the fence on like am I gonna get it out for Steam or PC or whatever or
Yeah.
hope that it comes out on like a Switch or something. But that seems like maybe a long shot.
I was visiting my brother literally yesterday in Boston.
Oh wow.
And so I was trying to figure out because he has a PS4, and I was trying to figure out like, will this ever come to PS4? And
There's-
rumor has it
I think I was reading
Okay.
the same Wikipedia articles of
Would
like
you like
it's. Well, it was inconclusive to me. Of like this seemed like it was like there was no factual data of like release date. It seemed like just people saying I've heard this rumor that there's a PS4 version happening, but then them citing the same rumors of PS4 versions happening. It was
Right.
like this weird
Right.
self-referential thing.
So the new thing that I saw was that there was like a patent in Korea for a PS4 version of Outer Wilds. What? And no part of that sentence makes sense to me,
Yeah.
but everyone was like, "This is it. It's happening."
We have our paper trail. The ultimate hot scoop.
Well, when you play it, ask yourself while you're playing: Is this monster? Is this Hitman? It might be.
I do like this more than the simply is this the Dark Souls of
Right? Is this
immersive
the dark?
Sims?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Which is
that,
clearly Prey, but that's another topic.
take it up with that Twitter account. Edgar, what have you been playing?
I got Apple Arcade recently.
That's a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, but the two main ones that I finished recently were Sayonara Wild Hearts. I really love that one.
I am really looking forward to playing
Yeah,
it.
I
haven't.
bought the PS4 physical, so I'm waiting on that one too. But I was like, okay, I've been buying this, but I was gonna get it for Switch, but since I got the physical, I was like, okay, let me just do
Yeah.
Apple Arcade. And then Bleak Sword, I actually just finished on my commute here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Which one is?
Bleak Sword is like the action
Yeah.
game with a very simple pixel art, like black and white. It's really fun, and the combat was like the input's really well integrated for the type of action that you're
Yeah.
doing. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the extreme spotlight this has put on. Their Apple Arcade has put on novel mobile interfaces for games because it always felt like woefully undertasked.
Because it's also the like. That's one I always appreciate or like love when there was a mobile game that actually
Yeah,
made
you
use
said
of
that.
that. Solid.
Almost
Oh,
didn't
and
see it, but I saw
the
it.
famous Slugcat one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there. Let's see those lines.
But there's this earlier era for mobile where it was deep lore.
You'll never know.
I think it's talking about like balancing or something. It's like really mundane.
In retrospect, I definitely got this a year ago, and I did not know about Rain World, and I was just baffled.
That happens a lot in this game.
Apple's way over there.
I was way over there.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm
Oh
dead.
no.
Yeah, there's a couple of moments like that with apples where it's like the moment you even realize that it's there and what you have to do, it's already too late.
Yep. I think you got this. You're gonna have to book it out. Nice.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Forgot. That was a... Panicking too much.
Hey, just name Fabian the level that Fabian named after me,
Aw.
because I made it. I don't know why this one. I think because we need, for every level we do the alliteration.
Right.
And so I think this one is just like, we don't know what the hell to call this.
Yep, yep.
It's made by Edgar, just put Ernest Edgar.
We haven't touched E for a while.
It's like 160 levels at a certain point. It's just like, you know what? We just need some.
Just need
We
something.
just need a name on there.
Yeah. Do we break that with the DLC level names? I forget.
I feel like with 160 we must have, but I can't remember.
Yeah.
If we actually
Should I
like.
check the wiki?
It might be there.
But brand disconnects on Slime Sans level naming.
Deep lore, deep lore.
What could it mean? Yeah, if you just take the first letter of every level, then it spells out the secret code to decipher Slugcat's alphabet,
The slug cat cipher, as we call it.
which is also a level name.
Oh, all right.
Alliteration.
Which one?
Slugcat cipher. At least like rules-wise, it would have worked.
Just, yeah, in pronunciation.
Oh yeah, I guess the cipher would be P. I think.
C.
Wait, C.
C.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh god, I think I'm thinking because there's like an anime thing with ciphers that's like with a P, like psi, like
I
psychic.
mean, that doesn't surprise me at all.
It's like that moment of like that is not the right spelling for this.
Nice. Yeah, I was gonna say, because if Cypher spelled PSY isn't a thing in anime, it should be
Yeah, like that
Big
kind of just
anime
like
energy.
combining two words.
big anime energy.
Oh, I
That's yeah.
screwed myself. Yep.
Oh no, yeah, that.
Ah. And I'm sure that corner is red for exactly that reason. So if I touch that, I die.
Yeah, this one's kind of mean too. The screen.
That's probably gonna become more and more of a refrain.
That's true.
With these levels.
This is gonna be
Yeah.
saying this is kind of mean. This one's more.
Just
mean.
like Turf or World 4, it's just like all of these are just mean now.
Oh, I see. Circumnavigator's going crazy back there.
Yeah.
Reminding us why we went with the ultra short range mics. It's a cool game.
Yeah. Wait, which one? What's
Circumnavigators, it's by the stair to the sound
oh,
booth.
behind the
The
back.
flat one, yeah.
Yeah, I missed that one. Let's try and run through your guys' library.
Yeah.
It is 5 minutes to 9, by the way. I know we originally said that we'd be done at 9. So, by all means, if there's anything you want to plug, now is the time.
I guess like first and foremost is if anyone out there likes really cute, weird, quirky action RPGs, has a Switch and likes sort of indie games with a focus on like exploration, pick up and play, accessible kind of RPG mechanics, check out Scaleboy. It's cute and quirky and gross and it's a good time.
Releasing December 3rd, yeah?
Yes,
Yes.
December
Yeah.
3rd.
December 3rd.
On
Switch.
Switch.
Steam later, and we'll see if there's more to announce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There might be more stuff next year, but we'll have to see.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I see.
And then obviously, if you like what you're seeing here, buy Slime Song.
Oh yeah, that too.
On everything.
Oh yeah. I mean, never played it, but it's just nice.
It seems cool, you know. All right, we're near the end of World 2, right?
I
believe
yeah,
so, yeah.
yeah. Well, like 5 more levels.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. How are you feeling, Jordan?
All right. These have been significantly harder than World 1, as one would expect.
Did you do this level?
Yeah, I think they did. Yeah.
Did you put a face there?
No, I just saw it too.
Oh, I see.
Well, it was very charming. Thanks.
Oh, well. All right. Then make that decision for me.
I love when the ass is just like no chills, just immediately goes 0 to 60.
Yeah.
What do we got here?
Punches. Punches the bear.
He is definitely a reference to another indie game. I forget which.
Rude Bear? Which one? Rude Bear?
Oh, maybe. I think so. Yeah.
I mean, he's
remember it.
committed to mocking hipsters, so that
Yeah,
seems...
that's the main thing I remember is he like really does not like hipsters. This just looks like Slumped at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, it's another scroller.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think is there 1 or 2?
There was one in World 1.
Can't remember.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
just one, because we kind of have like a general format with that, like one per world, then there's a... Is it like
Forget
a water? There's some other one that's like the water levels or something.
As a scroll one as well, or
Well, because it's always like the 5 mark, right?
yeah.
Because they always have like the icon at the end.
Yes,
I completely
it's
forgot.
Either scroller or water level.
I completely forgot.
Gravity. This was a mechanic that was definitely on the more frustrating side. Whoa.
Whoa!
Well, I don't know what happened there, but I'm not going to question
Got
it.
lucky.
Yeah.
Also,
I think
Twitch.
it's switching the hitboxes so much that you like phase through the day of the kill.
Happen again. Does that thing have a collider at all?
I don't know.
We're having fun. Also, assist from Twitch chat, Punches Bears, who made
Okay.
VR Hipster
Can
Toss.
confirm it will kill me.
There we go.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doom Church. You always have our back.
Really like the buzzsaw is more of like a psychological. there's an artistry behind it, actually.
Nope. I'm upside down. That's not how that works.
You miss every shot you don't take.
Yep.
I missed a lot of the ones I do take too. This is very disorienting.
Like how the apple is still normal gravity.
Yeah.
The apple's normal. I should just sit on that, get my bearings.
Up. Nice.
Okay.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's because you have to fall with precision.
Yeah.
I'm so bad at falling.
Kind of like position yourself and fall right through.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, but I am quite bad at falling straight
Years-
down in platformers.
Yeah.
It is my
over-
personal kryptonite. Oh, and that's a slide.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
a good one,
I've
too.
watched Jordan play through Meat Boy, Celeste. You tried out. I've seen you try a bunch of different Kaizo maps in Mario Maker,
Yep.
and it is the consistent struggle of falling.
If I have to fall.
I mean, it was. You mentioned like, hey, the slime people would be interested in doing it. God, I love that game. I played that game. I'll bet Jordan could play that game. because
And here I am. Yeah.
because I watched you play all of those precision platformers.
Yep. Yeah, despite what you're seeing now, I can play a lot of precision platformers pretty well.
Oh man.
Well, you are pretty deep
Dying
into it.
again. Yeah. Well,
You have made it all the way through
Okay.
1 3/4 worlds on this live stream.
okay. I'm like, I don't know how to get over
It's
there
the far
now.
wall, I think.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
As the buzzsaw goes past.
Oh, I was just not even looking at it. It's funny how this being upside down just makes me like
Yeah.
panic so much.
It
just more to
really
worry
does
about.
actually make you like mess with your head a bit.
Yeah.
It's like the what, third level in that one was just a normal level but upside down. I was just like, I can't do this.
All right. Well, it is 9. I think Jamie, are you out there? Jamie.
Oh, no,
Oh,
he's
I was
already
hoping
gone
those
home.
might.
The lights just go off.
We might keep playing for a bit, but I think for hitting at least one of our 2 deadlines, I'll probably switch off the stream. Thank you so much for being here, Ben and Edgar. This has been really excellent.
Yeah, this was awesome. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for making this. Wonderful,
Yes, thank
wonderful
you
game.
for sharing your game with us.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why we do
Looking
it.
forward to undisclosed project that has more colors.
Yeah, fun fact, this actually originally had more. It's just the shader bug broke down.
Shader bug, and it was so close to the deadline.
No one commented on it. They just thought like, so brave. Just rolled with it.
Yeah, this has been an absolute delight. Thanks so much for coming. Thank you everyone who tuned in. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, where we'll probably be putting this, thanks for coming to YouTube. Smash that like, subscribe. All right. See ya. The camera's up there.
Toodles.
I'll be right back.
One thing I meant to ask is there any like content that you guys had wanted to show off? I know like I know we don't have like everything unlocked here, but
Like, there's too much to really like just trying to highlight the one. I guess like the one that is like to show sometimes just like the DLC, just because of how much it switches up. Both like there's a hub town that we have a hub in each one that kind of has its own vibe. So like one's an island resort. Oh yeah, you have your own customizable house. Another one of just like
How do I
seemed like a
get
good
to the
simple
DLC?
idea at the time.
add-ons.
Yeah, right.
Where am I going?
You could do slime song, the Sheeple sequel. Slime song. All the slime
Sheeple's
songs.
sequel.
All right, sure,
Also
sure.
had that
Why not? We'll wait
Also
till
had
Jamie gets back.
Had that moment of the last one. It says super, the slime edition. I'm like,
Protect.
All of it is super slime.
yeah, yeah. I was like, right. We had those specific levels made just for that.
Yeah, so now changing out the apples are bugs instead, and it's all, there's a little secret character you can find as like those cameos, but now his whole thing was he's a self-aware character that knows he's inside a game, so it's him kind of deciding he wants to be the protagonist and take over.
Oh,
Do I have to touch all of these?
I think so, exactly once, which means you're going to have a little bit of a tough spot on the
Yeah,
other
you
side
might
there.
be in a rough position right now.
Oh, I can't. I kind of assumed
Yeah, you have
without
to
looking
paint
that
all
I'd
the
be able to come
tiles.
back around decently easily, but I cannot. All right.
Nice. Oh, so yeah, you really just got to go all out on this.
Yeah.
Because for design levels, we also just had like a bunch that you could probably just use right off the bat that were just like
Mother.
Because like for Slime Sans levels, did we actually have that many new mechanics, or was that mostly for the other two playstyles?
Barely.
There were definitely still some.
I guess
specific
there's like
ones.
this one, like
Oh,
the
so,
invisible
like,
This is
level.
very cool.
Yeah, the invisible one. I think there was a spotlight one that might have been
Right.
this DLC as well.
Yeah, so this is kind of making use of the fact of like your slime trail, so just mapping out the space as you go.
I like that it sticks between deaths. That's
Yeah.
Yes.
as a player. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I mean, we only arrived at this as like a little mechanical quirk for some levels because of that fact. We are not unreasonably cruel.
It's your average garden variety cruel.
Yeah, you know, like the accessible level cruel.
That's
do-
new as well, I think. The falling blocks.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's what?
These falling blocks, I think they're new to this DLC as well. Like, I don't think you encounter it in the main game.
Because we were just saying before of like this DLC is kind of unique next to other ones because there's these new playstyles that like Slime Sans levels are more sort of like the best of with a few other additional ad mechanics, whereas a lot of the sort of really new stuff gets saved for the playstyle changes.
Yeah. Yeah, sticking to them is kind of tough, actually.
We did fast forward many levels in the difficulty curve.
Yep.
Yeah. Though here also the slowdown can be really helpful.
Yeah. I just
True.
never think to use it unless something requires it of me.
Slam that trigger.
Slam that trigger like that like button.
Oh, I thought I had a jump there and I didn't.
Slam that like subscribe trigger.
Oh,
Oh god.
Yeah, they sometimes just like pull you with them. The inexorable
here we
pull
go.
of the abyss.
Nice.
barely made
Got
it.
it.
Okay.
Nice.
That's it. Got it.
Almost went right into that red.
And then this is kind of the branch moment.
And behind door number 2.
Yes.
He's just fat.
Red shadow.
We very much enjoyed
Oh,
the interstitials.
That's very good.
So here's the quirk for him is that every time you dash, it changes his colors and it lets you invert your weakness.
And also you can kill things
Yes.
Yeah.
because you're Red Shadow.
I feel
So
like
it's- I was just gonna say, like, it's a weird mix of both. You have to be a lot more thoughtful for the level progression, but you can be a lot more aggressive with enemies.
yes, yeah. Yeah, this is where with some of the like extra levels we had to make for Red Shadow, we can get pretty mean with them too, because this is such a cluster like of what the when do I press this button? When do I morph? There's just so much you have to think about.
Yeah, we already had a bunch of levels that were kind of like you have to keep these two or three different states in mind of like what you're triggering and activating, and then there's also what color you are, and it very much could throw people.
Yeah,
like
like
there,
that,
like
yeah.
a total, like
Yep.
that's you sometimes punish a little bit like little tricks you learn in the main game.
Nice.
Oh.
So for those like code stuff, I think we had sometimes things bounce back because they thought it was a bug, and it was like,
Oh
no,
my god, yes.
this is on
Yeah,
purpose.
we
this is a
got
meta thing.
we got people asking us during like submissions for the game of like, guys, I think something broke in your code, and we're like, nope, that's the way it's
That's
supposed
the
to be.
joke.
Yep.
This maybe didn't translate well with the Japanese testers.
Oh, we were thinking about shutting it down, but then we started playing the DLC instead. So I don't even know. How's everyone feel?
Yeah, I can answer.
Yeah.
Want to say like 9:30 maybe?
Yeah, sure.
That's all right with you?
That sounds
Yeah.
good.
All right, so 9:30.
It's probably worse for you just with your trek back home.
Yeah, that's
It's
why I
fine.
want to make sure that we're not like.
Alright, there's good.
Did you get to use your drink too?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We did earlier. Yeah.
Cool. Good. Wanted to make sure. Jordan, you're doing so much better with this than I would. Just like going straight into it.
It's definitely some of the most like mentally trying of the levels, and also it's always a lot more frustrating playing with an audience.
I don't mind
It's
so
just
much.
interesting. You decided to dash there. Interesting.
We've been pretty good about that though. Not reading half the shit chat's saying.
Alright.
No, chat has
have
also
the
been
blinders
chat
on.
has also been delightful.
All right.
Was there another question in the chat, or was that? Just
Oh
something
no,
else
no,
that
there
they
was
said?
just lots of help remembering what different games.
Yeah. Keeping track of all the references.
Let's go.
Oh, I see.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Alright, the red ones are gonna go through. Am I the right color? Couldn't tell.
Yeah, just the
Yep. Yeah, like the paralysis of like, I need to change colors, but also the other colors come before me.
Alright, so I'm gonna be
You
red
can
down
also
here.
just dash through them like enemies though.
Yeah. It's good to know.
Yeah, I think for
Oh,
that
oh,
part.
one, it bumped me into, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's a light color, acts like a bounce instead of killing you.
Yeah, for the bottom part, I think it's better to be green and just jump like through the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, just treat it like a slime song level. A slime song base level.
Yeah.
Oh, you're getting fancy.
Yeah. Tried. It's fine. I don't mind.
Okay, this is when we legitimately just start to get a little bit mean with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
When we
think
start
I see.
changing bounces.
Oh!
So close.
I'm intending to land on those red ones and just not.
I'm not sure. Did you use your jump last time? Oh, because you
I
dashed
was-
straight through.
Yeah, that's what was happening. I was
Yeah.
not letting go
I think
of jump.
you would have a super jump there too, right? If you just let her via
Yeah.
the ship.
If
Yeah.
we- yeah.
So that's a good way of getting like a lot of horizontal distance.
It also makes it complicated because if you want to super jump out of it, you're already changing
Oh,
color.
there's
Floor.
one floor over
Yeah.
there.
Okay, so it's red floor.
I think you have to jump through with red, then dash.
Yeah, so I
just
need to
before you
start
hit the
green
ground.
and then. Nope. Right, okay.
But you can like morph through
Yeah.
and then jump just before
Yeah.
you hit the green.
So
I don't
jump
know,
through
kill
as
him. I
red.
wanted to kill him there, but okay. And
This
then
one I
dash.
was
because-
Yeah.
testing a lot. There's definitely like a rhythm to like knowing exactly what colors to be at the right time.
Yeah.
And then you want to be red, but not
I keep trying to
phasing.
dash. Yeah, the combination of dashing and phasing being two different things I can do to like control
Yeah.
what does and does not kill me.
But yeah, so like the DLC was arrived at because we kind of were having fun with this way of like the same game, but very much changed the way you have to think about some of the
Yeah.
level and progression.
Yeah.
So Marvel's on the other guy is not quite as intense of a change, but definitely is like a very different sense of physics and momentum. Where he's more like plays almost like a variation on Sonic of like all about building up speed and able to like get much better traction and just motor through levels.
Yes. Nice.
Ooh. Okay. Ooh. You got it.
Oh!
Somebody clip that.
Oh.
Well,
Did I need them? I think I
this
might
might-
have.
aggression
need
maybe
the-
didn't pay off there.
Yeah, I think you need them to jump up.
I was waiting.
gets
I
it gets
assumed
lead.
this had to happen sooner or later. Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is when it really gets the most kind of cruel with the platforming challenge.
All right, so I think I want to start off green. So that
Yeah.
Start green so you can dash.
So I can dash upwards to get onto a red one.
And also,
go.
after all these bounces, you get your jump back too, so you do get a second jump as well
Yeah.
for each of them.
It's not even simple after that, though.
Relatively
You
speaking.
didn't have the decency.
All right, remembering that I get the jump back makes that easier. Well, I got that. What's that worth? Shit.
Well, at least I have my riches.
Oh boy.
Cried for my dead slimy hands. It's Crimson Wing.
Sure.
Come on.
Crimson Blaze.
Crimson Blaze.
I think I can't remember if it was like there was some red then beak or it was Blaze beak. It may have been
Yeah, I
Blaze
think
beak.
Blaze Beak. was the
Blaze
other
Beak is very good.
Yeah, I can't.
Crimson Wing is
I didn't
something
like
else.
choosing.
Darkwing
Cri-
Duck.
I was about to say it
Yeah,
sounds
it
like a
does have
Darkwing
that
Duck
tone.
thing.
Maybe that's like their car is the Crimson Wing.
Yeah. Does Slime sound
What the
car?
fuck am I supposed to do
It's like a
here?
Subaru.
It's you know
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
Alright,
so
that's
it's
Slime
a
Song
little
exists
higher,
outside
and
me. I don't prescribe it, but like sometimes I just discover these things.
Well, you don't prescribe. Sorry,
I'm just bullshit. Just talking about Slime
We
Song's
went to
deep
some
lore.
places.
I'm just referring the deep narrative stipulations of Slime Song's development.
That's nuts. That's nuts.
Do you mind if we blurb that?
Say what?
Do you mind if we blurb that for the
Oh
Steam
yeah,
page?
go for it. Yeah.
That's nuts.
That's nuts.
Just need to make the new trailer for it.
I think we got it. All right.
You don't have to keep going in this one also.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually,
You could get the more like a laid back HQ or something.
I was gonna say I want to try
Oh,
the
heavens.
marble. So
Okay,
this-
yeah,
it
so if you
splits
go to
here? No.
Oh no,
Okay.
so if you exit here, you just need to redo the little branching level. That's
Number
number
two?
two.
Number
Yeah.
two.
And it's only one screen for each of them.
Bloop.
So there's just like a little mini tutorial that gets you kind of familiar with them.
Hold the dash button to roll fast. Whoops. Whoa.
Oh.
Well,
we'll learn about that
spoilers.
soon.
Yeah. Why is it?
Yeah, so you also can roll up any surface as well.
Okay, so because I'm holding dash, it's snapping me to the surface.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of his stuff is like he has very floaty movement traction, but then once you start using the dash, you can really zip through levels and do kind of like more intensive platforming tricks.
Yeah.
There's also like super jumps
There.
off of the wall jump you can do that like lets you repel off of it.
It changes
yeah.
it up so much.
Yeah, that's a new game.
It's a very severe change in place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because like Slime Song is
Hey.
kind of
Nice.
characterized by just being like super just can
all right.
pivot on a dime.
Right.
Versus here you just build up all this momentum and it's a lot more like planning around the right
Oh,
route.
I still
yeah,
phase.
totally.
Yes, I. Okay.
But yeah, still with morphing and other little Slime Song tricks.
Yeah. Oh, straight through it. Yeah. Trying to take it slow. Not allowed. Okay. Nailed it. One down.
So a little trick is if you jump off of it, yeah, you get
Yeah.
a nice arc to it.
It's a very satisfying sound.
Yeah. It has probably the sharpest learning curve, but it is like a very, like once you actually, it clicks with you, it's very satisfying to go through levels with it. It does
Yeah,
have that kind
no,
of like
it-
just revving up kind of feel to it.
It feels great. says doing all of that.
Nice.
You still
Nope.
have that extra jump too.
Yes.
So it becomes
Yep.
very helpful.
Yep.
with
The
it.
extra jump in Slime Song in particular has been a thing that I've struggled to get it through my head when I do and do not have it.
Yeah,
It
because
comes back so much more often than I expect it to.
Yeah, it's definitely like one of the things we struggle with the most teaching.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the few times we actually just resorted to essentially the dialogue box in a tutorial because it's just so counter to what people are often expecting.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, there's just keeps on finding moments where it actually gives it back to you. And we don't
Like that.
often rely on it too much, but that it does actually open up your moveset a lot when you start to figure it out.
Right. And it lets you just do these ridiculous paths.
Yeah, and also lets like a lot of those sort of like just barely
Could've
make it
probably
moments
used
where
it
you
there.
sort of skirt around a bullet, then you
Yeah.
grab like one pixel onto a tile that then you can fall off and jump up again, and moments like that.
Yeah.
Ah,
Were you trying to loop around the lip there?
no, I was
That
If
one
I hadn't
catches
hit the-
me a lot too, where it's like you think you can basically you just can't jump over enemies as consistently with Marble because he just has such a slow startup
yep,
speed.
you need that momentum before you can do anything.
You can't. So if you just do like a little rev up and boost, that gives you usually enough to clear it.
Oh, got it.
Hey, nice.
Nice.
Whoop.
Oh.
Yep. Okay.
Nice.
And I think we got it.
Yeah. Who needs bugs?
Nope, this is dash. Alright.
You just fall through.
Yeah.
Oh gosh! The Kaizo blocks in here. Oh, and I'm not
Yeah.
used to not being able to change direction midair. It's another
Oh yeah, when dashing you can't. Yeah.
right.
Essentially, that controls all of your horizontal movement, and there, I think you basically have to be dashing before you even hit the ground.
Okay.
It's like you're
Maybe.
revving up.
I forget the trick for it, cause it, like that
It's
would.
not a great sign for us.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought I removed that in the last build.
I remember that one being.
Bob's gonna come
was
soon.
being
Yeah, that
tough
one's
to-
very tight.
Bob's
Yeah.
coming.
Part of the things we also, I don't know if we'll get to it with the time we have, but like we also have just more like scrolling levels with Marble Sun because we figured that was one where it's like we played with it
Yeah.
a bit in the main game, but then this felt like a good kind of combination to sort of just pull out more of the potential for those kind of levels. Like just giving you some
Just give you a lot of
straightaways.
road to work on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh,
That was almost
I
super
shouldn't
slick.
have jumped. I should have just kept
Kept
holding.
rolling.
Yeah, because then
I
you
think
pop
that's what I
off.
would do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like pop up off the lip. Wow, that's a tongue twister.
No, no. Oh, well, I tricked it.
Flip.
It got me in the
It
end.
tricked you.
It did. Oh, too far.
What are these sprites on the gutters? I'm trying to like.
The what?
They're little sheeple clones falling off into the abyss.
Uh-oh.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna die again, huh?
Oh no. Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
think I
know.
can do anything. Oh,
I
alright,
think
let's just go
actually
that way.
no. I
apparently.
bet if you jump up on the left side, you could then pop off of there. You get your jump back and then jump again. Or that works.
There we go.
There you go.
It's the way I was attempting to do it all the time, and just so happened to. See, falling
Yep.
down, just can't do it.
Well, that's also the momentum thing, right?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
God, the
Yeah, then
the
you have a lot more.
screen shake when you hit ground is very good.
I hadn't even noticed it.
It's very
That was
good.
that was kind of our goal, is to make it just subtle enough to be like you feel the bit, but that it doesn't
Yeah.
it doesn't draw attention to itself.
Yeah, it's a good little juice there.
I'm probably gonna die, huh?
Yeah, we do the same thing with controllers, just like a slight bit of that rumble
Yeah.
whenever you land.
Much better now. Ah! Wasn't watching for that.
Yeah. So that one you have to trigger it first to
Yep.
go down, and then you can go up.
You got this. Okay.
Do I?
Well, you now, surely.
Believe in the. I believe. Wait, no. Believe in the me that believes
Believes
in
in you.
There's.
Yeah.
Every time I have to say that, it's just like I'm definitely getting this wrong the first few times.
I believe in the. Wait.
Well, also changes because then sometimes it's like believe in the you that I believe in or
Yeah,
something. It's like
yeah.
a nice moment.
Yeah.
Watch Gurren Lagann.
That's what girl logging. Yeah.
Okay.
This
Yeah.
is
You're the slime
continuing
that will
the
pierce the
lineage.
heavens.
This is an important thing after Evangelion.
Yeah.
Same
It keeps
studio.
haunting. Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
I also forgot that that was the same studio.
As what?
It's like a
Sorry?
weird
Evangelion.
parody.
Ah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Gurren Lagann got the creator for Ava fired. It's the whole thing.
All right.
I'm surprised that he managed to get away with so much before.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot with Ava. If he survived the movie,
Yeah.
I would have assumed nothing would take him down.
Yeah.
But
We,
hey, it gave me Shin Godzilla, so I'm happy with it.
like just finished rewatching
that's
that,
a-
the Netflix version.
Yeah. New video.
You
Oh,
know.
right, because they have the animated ones, right?
Yes, they. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but I haven't watched them yet, but I've been curious to check them out. Shin Godzilla is amazing if you haven't actually seen it.
Love it.
Not
That's
copy.
excellent. Oh.
I think we tried to get pretty close to the actual layout.
When you
I
said
don't think we
9:30
do.
was because you thought we'd have exactly enough time to.
Yeah, I
Maybe
guess
the
this one
start.
is like very. Yeah, this one is a lot more abstracted.
Yeah, the Mario one, yes.
The who?
Oh, sorry.
Huh?
Huh? I wish I,
I don't
had
recognize that name.
Ooh.
More. I wish I had more to just improv
Do we have to,
on.
sorry, do we have to cut that from the final?
No, it's Mario with two A's. It's totally different.
Oh, well,
Hey.
there's the bug. All right.
Secret detected.
Yep.
I'm kind of scared when I hear there's a bug.
I was just thinking, like, this just gives us such a good out. I found a bug here. Yeah, that's the point.
Were there 4 bugs in the earlier scrolling levels?
In the main game scrolling levels,
I think there was just
had
one.
Just
yeah.
one. Okay. Yeah.
I think we landed on because there's more optional ways of getting apples. So like here, there's some in mini games, but just made more sense to have the 4.
Yeah.
Little trick with the red tiles like that. If you actually slide up like that, it'll launch you and you skip past it. There's just
Yeah.
like a little bit of you're technically detaching from the wall at that point, so you don't collide with it.
Oh, he's gonna be going that way for a
Ooh.
little bit, huh?
You've created a situation for yourself.
And
Have
here's
I?
the
Ah, damn.
and we were just passing by the demonstration of my lack of enthusiasm for implementing corkscrews or runarounds
Yep.
in our physics system.
Yep. I mean, I can't really hold that against you.
There was a
IP
brief
for
moment-
IP purposes.
Well, also there's a brief moment considering our mini games of like maybe we should try this, but then I think I tried it for like half a day. I was like, this is not happening, guys. Let's not spend 3 weeks for this one-off joke.
All right, fine.
A lot of opportunities.
No, I didn't want to go that way anyway. Uh-oh.
I don't need to go the high road anyways.
Damn.
So you were a Genesis?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Both of us
Both of you were
kinda
Genesis
grew up
kids.
with
Gotcha.
Sega. So this was finally our time to It's like the Trojan horse. We just like we're biding our time before we could showcase the Genesis love.
Oh. There we go.
I almost thought you were still talking about Neon. Oh my god.
Yeah, playing Sonic and getting the robot Sonic.
Get it? Yeah.
I feel like I had some good jokes there, but they're all major spoilers, so we'll not.
Yeah, I haven't finished it either. So.
You ever wonder what
dangerous
happened to
for
Sonic's mom?
Oh god.
Okay, yeah.
And that was also just good as like an innocuous statement of like we just care about him. Oh yeah, this is just back to back, isn't it?
The reference levels.
Yeah, I thought there was one in between.
So, yeah, me too. But it's not the case.
Yeah, and these also work with the morphing mechanic. So we didn't quite implement the whole like hold down to go into them, but
Yeah, I
close
had.
enough.
Whoa.
Oh.
It's
Yeah,
a mushroom.
Oh, you hadn't seen that yet in the core game.
Nope.
Yep.
Ah.
Yeah,
Probably
there-
could have jumped.
After that, yeah, you can jump and
Yeah.
you'll get the height.
Jamie, I feel like every time you've come back into this room, it's just been a different game.
Yeah. There was
Yep.
Donkey Kong.
Yep.
There
Oh
was
yeah.
Sonic a moment ago.
What are you talking about? It's original IP only in here.
Oh.
Is this because there's bricks and hills with eyes? That could be anything.
That could be the
It's our,
Hills
it's
Have
our
Eyes.
homage to the Hills Have Eyes film franchise.
Could be nice.
Totally intended.
Getting it?
You're close.
Yeah, I know this level layout. I am getting close. Oh. Did I just get
You're
even
getting very
smaller?
small.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
All right.
Yeah, you got it.
Hang on.
Very important.
Nope.
Oh, that was
Do you want to
beautifully
bounce back to the
underwhelming.
level select?
yeah.
Or perhaps Sheeple HQ. I would love to see what cosmetics you get with these bugs. And
Shopping
then
at
we
the
will probably
Sheeple HQ.
call it. So
Yeah.
it is 9:30. Yeah, do you want to? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess,
I'll give you a thumbs up when it's time.
I guess just to give a little summary. So like for the most part, the bugs are more for one-offs. That we don't like repeat the same shops, like adding new cosmetics and stuff. But
Yeah.
more like there's like a little art gallery where you can buy like different little like illustrations, sketches of like little design document stuff where it's like Edgar
Yeah.
and Fabian's artwork or like
Pretty much
sketches
our-
for
yeah.
level designs.
Exactly.
Play styles?
So you can still,
These are the
yeah, you
same.
can still buy stuff from previous.
Yeah, this
shop,
is with your apples
but
again.
it's
Yeah.
still with
Yeah.
apples, yeah. But then the new stuff comes with the where is it?
It's the right,
It's
it's like
in here.
the gallery. I think
Right,
it's
yeah.
all
So
right.
it's on the right screen. Yeah, this is just like more stuff from the main game. Yeah, here.
Here?
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
You can just buy some for listening.
Rad. All right. Well,
That was our send off for the series. Or for the
yeah. Oh yes, get the red shadow theme. Well, I guess we already did this, but thanks again.
Yeah. Thank you so
Deja
much,
vu.
guys.
Yeah. This is
Thanks for having us. This is a lot of fun.
this is super fun. I guess. I'm Matt.
Jordan.
Ben.
Edgar.
Thanks to Fabraz for joining us in Wonderville today, and we'll see y'all next time.
Yeah.